Hello and welcome to World History e-learning for March 23rd. We are continuing our discussion of World War One. We've gone through the different sides in World War One. We have also talked about what we call the spark and the main causes of World War One. Now we kind of get into, well, how was it actually fought? And for that, we need to discuss what's called the Schlieffen Plan. The Schlieffen Plan, simply put, was going to be Germany's battle plan. It's their plans for how they want to fight this war. And the reality is that their plan is actually fairly sound. It's if you were to put it down on paper and play it all out, it makes sense. The problem is they're going to make some mistakes in how they implement it, how it all ultimately unfolds. Okay, so the basic idea is this. Okay, this is a map of what pre-World War One Europe looked like. So you have Germany is more than just Germany; they're an empire at this point. Okay, you've got the Russian Empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and you have France. Okay, the plan is basically this: if Germany has to fight a war on what they call two fronts, okay, a Western front over here and an Eastern front over here, that splits up their army. They split up their army, you've got half here, half here. That makes them weaker, they're less effective. The concept is this: instead of splitting up and fighting on two fronts at one time, put everything you have into fighting on one front. Keep your army together. Just like if I take my hand and I hit somebody with one finger, that's probably not going to do nearly as much damage as if I keep my hand all together in a fist. A fist is going to do much more damage than a finger will. So if I can keep my army all together and just defeat France, the Schlieffen Plan says we're going to completely defeat France. Once we do that, then turn our attention to Russia. The hope is for Germany that they will be able to defeat the French. They look at the France that France is weaker. They think that of the two countries, Russia's used to fighting. They've been fighting a lot in a lot of wars and over a lot of different places. They're prepared for war. France isn't. So they figure we'll overwhelm France, we'll completely defeat France, and then we'll turn our attention and defeat Russia. Um, like I said, this is seen as a solid plan. It's not one that is, out of the realm of possibility, but they're going to make some mistakes. The first mistake that they're going to make is that they actually declare war on Russia prior to declaring war on France. So, if they were smart, they would have just declared war on France, left Russia out of it, and then turned their attention later. They didn't do that. The other mistake that they're going to make here is that in order to get to France, not only are they going to go through here where they have the border, but they're also going to go through Belgium. Going through Belgium is a big problem, primarily because Belgium was trying to remain neutral and Belgium had an alliance with the British. When the Germans entered Belgium, that brought the British into the war on the side of the French. So now you're not just fighting France, you're fighting France and Britain. So what's ultimately going to happen is they're not going to defeat France the way they thought they would. Second, a really kind of a third mistake here is that it probably actually made more sense to attack Russia first because while they weren't going to overwhelm and defeat Russia, Russia was battle weary. They really didn't have the resources to be able to fight in a World War One. So ultimately, the Schlieffen Plan, to sum it up, it's the German battle plan calls for them to completely defeat France, then turn their attention to Russia. Solid plan, but they're going to make mistakes.